Hey everybody, how are you doing? This is Kirsten here, and thank you so much for joining me today for this new episode of A Better Way with Kirsten podcast. I'm really grateful that you're here because I know that you could be doing so many other things, but you chose to take this little bit of time out of your day to hang out with me. And if this is your first time listening to this podcast, here's what this podcast is about. We're talking about chronic health problems, chronic pain, chronic anxiety, chronic sensations that don't have a true physical cause. You have probably been tested for so many things and everything comes back like, well, we don't know. People are shrugging their heads and their shoulders and like, I don't know why this is. Doctors don't know what to tell you. Or maybe they tell you some things to try, but the things you're trying are just not helping. And if this is the case, your problem is probably in your nervous system. It is dysregulated. It is not feeling safe. We're going to talk about safety today too. And that's why you have these chronic sensations. And this can be a lot to take in for somebody who has never considered that this is an option, but it for sure is. There are thousands of people, hundreds and thousands, maybe even more, of people who have experienced these sensations. It could be anything from back pain to IBS to anxiety and depression and, oh my God, so many different things. And these things truly can be caused by your nervous system being on high alert often. And just because you haven't maybe heard about this before doesn't mean that it's not valid. And I really wish that we had more knowledge about this. I wish that this was a thing that people knew about. Like, oh yeah, this could happen. So if they don't find anything physical, maybe I should look into psychological, essentially. Maybe I should look into my nervous system and see if the problem is actually there and then treat that instead of treating the symptom that has already popped up. Like in my case, it was the back pain. How can I get rid of my back pain? No, you don't want to do it this way. You want to go into your nervous system, see how you can regulate that, bring the sense of safety into your nervous system and brain, and this is how you heal. This is the actual root cause. And like I said, it could be many other sensations or symptoms that you're experiencing. Back pain is kind of like the classic, the one that I had too for 7 years. I had other like tiny, like the smaller things too, but this was definitely a big one. Anxiety together with that and insomnia. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff, and sometimes this stuff likes to pop up still. But it's not nearly as bad because I know what to do about it now. And if you are dealing with the same thing, you haven't found any solutions, then you really need to look into this nervous system regulation and work with that first and foremost. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the importance of your emotions and how creating and generating positive emotions in you can really help you to reduce these sensations and symptoms that you're having. And first, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that your sensation or symptom, or whatever you want to call it, I'm not nitpicking on it. I know some people are very specific, like it has to be called sensation, it's not a symptom. You know, it's whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just the outcome is still the same thing, what we're talking about, right? So have you noticed that your sensation or symptom goes away or significantly decreases when you're having a good time? Think about it. If you've ever had moments when your sensation is less, when you think back to it, was there something that was going really well, that you felt really positive, you felt happy? Was that the case? Did something really cool happen? And if the answer is yes, then there's your evidence that it's the positive emotions that have such a powerful effect, and they can truly help you heal, make bigger steps towards your healing. And I want to give you a couple of examples of how I personally felt it. I had a couple of times where, over the course of 7 years, when I was like, oh my God, my pain is a lot less. Like, what? How's that possible? There were several, but they didn't usually last for very long. It was just like for a day or 2 or 3. And then it got, bad again until I really got consistent with the work that needed to be done. But I'm talking about these random days and random moments where I couldn't kind of put the pieces together yet. So, for example, there was a time when I was watching track and field on TV, and track and field is something that I've always loved. I did it myself when I was younger, and I still watch it. And this is just like the number one thing that I the only, almost the only sports or anything I ever watch on TV, because this is important for me. I love watching it. I love the athletic performance. This is super cool for me to see it. And there was one time when I was watching it, and an athlete from my country won the gold medal, right, in European Championships. And all these, both of these days that I was watching the whole competition, I was so excited. I felt really good. I was so kind of invested in it. It's almost like it was like my competition. And then when he won the gold medal, I was just like so happy. I was so excited. I was like over the moon. Again, you probably, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have the same relationship with like any sport, but it's another thing for you that totally makes you forget about the rest of the world, and you get so immersed in what you're doing, or you get into this flow, right? Like I was. And then, even though this was at nighttime, right? The competition was at nighttime because I'm here in States, right? And that was in Europe, so I didn't care that I didn't sleep. I didn't worry about my sleep schedule. I didn't worry about how I'm going to be the next day. I didn't give a crap. I just didn't, and I felt amazing, and I didn't have back pain. What just happened? Well, tons of positive emotions happened. That's what happened. Another example is when I was in vacation in Estonia, where I'm from, and I was there 1 year for a long time, maybe like 3 weeks or so. I had a great time. I met up with old friends. I was hanging out with my mom, did different things, drove to different places. And definitely there was a day, I remember it so well, when we visited this one farm and we had a really great time. And I went to use the bathroom, and I know like this is always like sitting down was always when I had pain. And I was sitting down and I was like, what? There's no pain. There is no pain. I didn't have any. Guess what? Because I had just had tons of really, really good time hanging out with people that I love, being to places that I haven't been in a very long time, forgetting about all my responsibilities, and I felt so much better, and the pain was gone. And I've had several other things too. Some of them were, before I learned about this TMS thing, some of them were definitely placebo, when I would see like another practitioner and they would say, yes, I'll absolutely 100% heal you. And sometimes like on a day of that appointment, right after that, I was like, it's gone. But it's because I was really so hopeful and I really wanted it to help. And the practitioner was super nice and their level of confidence was through the roof that they can help me. And that created this positivity in my brain. I was like, oh my God, this is the answer, right? So I was really excited and very happy and very like finally have the solution. But it never was the solution, because no practitioner can fix that pain. It has to be you who is healing your nervous system and create safety in your brain, who will get you through that chronic sensation. So we've talked about like some cases how it has shown up for me, and my question is, like I said, have you seen the same thing? Like you're having a really, really good positive emotion, you're having a really great and fun day, and then you notice that your sensations are almost gone, right? Have you had that? So if the answer is yes, then you should see how much these positive emotions and the activities that lead to that, how much they matter, and why you should try to find ways to experience more of that. Now, of course, you might say that, oh, I cannot have more fun because my body is hurting so bad, my sensations are super terrible, like it's impossible for me to have fun. Well, to that, I would say that you have one really powerful tool that you can use, and that is your visualization ability. You can visualize, because I'm sure you've heard this, your brain doesn't know the difference between real, what you experience right now, in real life, and what you're just imagining in your head. So you can create the same similar emotional state by visualizing good, positive things happening in your life and really kind of bathing in these positive emotions. That's one of the things that's super helpful, that can shift your nervous system and create safety in it. Of course, there are so many ways of creating safety in your nervous system. I'm going to just read some of them to you, but raising your emotions or having more positive emotions is definitely one of them. So, of course, one way how you can regulate your nervous system and create safety in it is somatic work. And I've talked about it a lot lately. I'm so excited and so happy that I found it. it really has changed a lot for me. And right now I am teaching a course that's called Somatic Soul Work. It's a 5-month membership. It is not open right now. You cannot enroll right now, but maybe when I do the next round, always keep an eye out for all my posts on Instagram, because this is where I always announce them, or on my email list. Of course, you will always be notified, always, of all my new courses there as well. So somatic work, things like chest tapping, ear massage, neck massage, lateral eye movement, stomping, bouncing, shaking, humming. These are many, many ways how you can regulate your nervous system and bring the sensation of safety into it. And I want to say, like, if you're not able to visualize, you're not alone in this. Like, if you're like, okay, Kirsten said that I should try visualization to create more positive emotions in myself, but I just cannot do it. I want to tell you that you're not alone in this. I was definitely exactly the same way. And I even got frustrated when I first started trying this. I was like, what is this? Like, why is this not working? What is wrong with me? Oh my God, I can't believe, like, why is this so difficult? So I had a lot of some kind of internal resistance. It's almost like there's somebody in me, like a part of me, who was telling me that don't even try this. And because I don't think I fully believed in this, but it was also like my ability to visualize was completely blocked. But what really helped me was starting to do some somatic work. So when I decided, okay, I'm going to try this visualization, and I would start, and I was so super anxious before, that was not going to work. But I had to take that anxiety down before with some somatic work. And then when my body was calm, it was so much easier to visualize too. And little by little, I started doing it. So that was really helpful. Now, some other ways how you can activate your vagus nerve and create safety in your nervous system. You can hum, you can sing. Cold water is good, works for a lot of people, cold water immersion, or you can just put your face in cold water, your hands, or you can put an ice pack on your chest. Some of these things can be very helpful for people. You can, of course, go outside, be barefoot, be in nature. All these things are calming and regulating for your nervous system, and they create the sense of safety. Also, quiet time, alone time for a lot of people. If you are a person who's pushing yourself a lot of times, then taking a break and resting, allowing yourself to rest, is a major regulator for your nervous system and creates the sense of safety in it. Because you're always on the go, you can't take a break. Sitting down for a few moments is uncomfortable. Then this also means that you are on a very high alert. Your nervous system is pretty dysregulated, and you have to calm yourself down. By the way, if you are a person who's on a go all the time and can't sit still, and you know, who's telling me that meditation is the last thing I'm ever going to do because this is so uncomfortable, then keep in mind that you don't have to go from zero to nothing. You don't have to go from running around like crazy to sit down for 20 minutes and do nothing. You could do like walking meditation, or you could do something where you're still in motion, and just get into your body a little bit more and away from your work and from your computer and from all your devices. Maybe you make doing the dishes a little bit more mindful experience, where you switch everything else off and just focus on the water, focus on the plates that are in your hand. Maybe you make taking a shower a little bit more mindful experience, where you literally feel the temperature of the water. So all these things can help you to bring more into your present moment without you having to completely sit down and be totally quiet. Because like I said, if you are used to being on a go and rush around like crazy, then this complete silence can be uncomfortable and can also in a way feel unsafe. So you can definitely find like a middle ground too, but you have to start slowing down. If you're going super crazy all the time, super fast, I know this, and I know also for you that you can't keep going on like this. You just can't. Like, if you know that you are doing this, it's hard, it's difficult for you to put the phone down. You just cannot handle it. It's difficult for you to set like specific work hours. You always want to check your phone afterwards. Like, if you're doing so many things, you're doing one thing and you're thinking about 5 other that you're doing, you can't keep going on like this. This is such a clear sign that your nervous system is not feeling safe at all. You have to start bringing a sense of regulation into your nervous system, and hopefully all the tools that I'm sharing here on this podcast will help you do just that. So I named a couple of things that will help you to regulate your nervous system and bring the sense of safety, but also want to come back to this emotional state too. So creating more positive emotions through your visualization, this can be very, very good thing to do and very calming for your nervous system. Because when you think about it, when you, let's say you have two different scenarios, you're thinking about like a very busy traffic situation where there's lots of cars going and people are honking and stuff is going on. How does it make you feel if you really go into that scene? Try this for a moment. You're on a big highway, a freeway, lots of cars, people are anxious, people are nervous, cutting each other off. Some cars are like blasting music. How do you feel? And now stop that and go into a situation where you're sitting in a hammock, you're reading your favorite book, there's a little stream close by, you can hear the sound of that, there's some birds chirping. Your body feels like relaxed, you're gonna let out a sigh like, oh, and you're enjoying your book, just chilling. Did you notice how your body changed? What's happening in your body? Of course, we did it just a couple of minutes of that right now, but you can do it again after you finish listening to this podcast. Do it again. Contrast, like put these situations side by side and compare how your body feels. And what do you think is more beneficial for your nervous system? What do you think helps you to heal from these chronic sensations when you know that what we have to do is create safety in it, the feeling of safety? Which one created a feeling of safety? So now think, how do you go through your day? Are you always doing something? Are you always on your phone? Are you always anxious, angry? Are you gossiping? Are you talking bad things about others? Are you watching TV? Like even describing this right now is not what your nervous system prefers. It's not what it wants, at least if your goal is to get healthy again. And now compare that to, okay, I work for a couple of hours. I'm going to take a little break to eat, sit down, eat mindfully, put distractions away. Then maybe I'm going to work a few hours. I'm going to take a 10-minute break to sit outside on the back porch. What do you think is better? And so I think it's pretty obvious that the calming and relaxing situation is better for your nervous system. And you can also create this calm and relaxation by using your visualization. Okay, so when you visualize these situations that are pleasant and that literally shift the biology in you in a positive way, these are things that you should practice more often. So where should you then start? Where do you start? What do you even visualize? Well, you can think about, in your memories, go back to a day where you felt really happy. What was that day for you? I don't know what it was for you, but here is just some options just to get your kind of thinking kind of going. Because sometimes I know we can be very stuck. So maybe it was the day that you got married. Maybe it was the day when your child was born. Maybe it was a day when you got your degree. Maybe it was a day when your child maybe got married or something like that. Your adult child got married, whatever it is. What was that day for you? What is that feeling? And we're talking about feeling here. Yes, the things that happened were awesome because they created a certain feeling in you. And it was a very positive feeling. And when you think back to it, notice what happens in your body. There's warmth. There's this feeling of like coziness. Maybe there's joy, like this pure joy. And now when you find this feeling, you want to bathe in it. You really want to sit with this and enjoy it and take it in. Like this actually biochemically changes what's happening in your body. So practice that. Another thing you can think about, maybe you have had some athletic accomplishment that's really important to you. And let's say that right now you can't maybe move your body the ways you would like. Maybe you want to get back to running, but your body is just having all these sensations, symptoms, like this feels impossible. But you still have the memory of that, right? So for me, I've run several marathons in my life. And while I don't see myself running marathons anymore, it's just not my goal. I can think about this feeling of what it was like when I completed my first marathon. When I crossed that finish line, it was like, holy shit, I actually did it. And It was like amazing. Right now, if you could see, I literally have hair standing up on my arms because this is the feeling I get. This was amazing. This was awesome. And think about it. It doesn't have to be a marathon for you. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was a beautiful hike or something else. Maybe it was back in high school. It doesn't matter when it happened. What matters is the feeling of accomplishment. Yes, I did it. This was amazing. This is really cool. And another thing you can think about is connecting with others. Now, usually these very pleasant, fun moments, not all the time, but many times, there are other people present in these situations as well. So what can you think of? What was the moment of connection where you really felt like, oh my God, this is so awesome. All these people were there, like all the people they care about. I could feel their love. I could feel their support. Was there a situation like that in your memory? Like, go back and see. Can you find something? Again, for me personally, it was my the bachelorette party that my friends, my girlfriends, and my sister had for me. It was a total surprise. I didn't know it was coming. I walked into a situation that I thought I worked as a translator back then, and I thought I'm there to translate for a client. My sister had arranged everything for me. Like, yeah, you're gonna come in and there's a client, you're gonna translate this thing, and I was ready. I was gonna go to work. And there they were, like 10 of my best friends and my sister, and they threw a party for me before I got married. And I remember that. Again, I get chills when I talk about it because this was such a beautiful day. Everything about it was perfect. The whole day, the whole evening, just the amount of work they had put into it, it's just so incredible. It's just so beautiful. And by the way, it really helps to speak, like talk, say things out loud rather than just think. Because with thinking, when you just think about it, yeah, you can do it, but also your mind gets a little bit more distracted. And I can tell you also right now, when I'm telling you this story, I'm feeling the emotion stronger. I've several times, like I have, I get chills. But when I'm just thinking about it, it doesn't quite have the same feeling. So saying these things out, even just to yourself. And again, very, very positive feeling. So I offered you 3 things today, right? So three things you can think about, like the happiest day of your life, and you felt absolutely incredible. The second thing, maybe there was some sort of athletic performance event that really mattered to you. That was great. Or maybe you witnessed one, like I said before, for me, just watching somebody else win, when I had the example of the track athlete. Or then the third one is connecting with others. Like, these are just some examples, but you have so many more that you have had in your life. So go back to your memories when you feel like I want to change my emotion. I want to feel a positive emotion. I know that this helps me heal. You can go back to these old memories. If you really cannot dig out any, then come up with stuff. Go into like a fantasy world. Like, go imagine that you get to spend a month at Hogwarts, right? The Harry Potter magic wizard school. You can visualize that kind of stuff too. So whatever it is that gets you into this feeling of like, oh, this is awesome. I love it. This makes me feel so good. And so practice this stuff. Practice it. And I recommend that you practice it when you're not feeling good. That's the time when you want to change your brain. That's the opportunity when your brain is like starting to tell you all these BS stories like, oh, this is hard. I'm not going to do it. This is too much. I'm the only one who will never recover. Or like anything. Or you notice like anxiety coming on. Regulate yourself with some somatics first, like I recommended, and then see if you can visualize, if you can bring this positive feeling into your experience and just bathe in this and see what it can do for you. And don't cut it short either. Like, don't be like, okay, 2 minutes done. It's not like a job, like let's do it and then move on. Just like take it in and bathe in it and enjoy it and look at the details and feel really, 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 really good about it. And that's one way how you can really create safety in your nervous system through these very positive feelings. So I really want you to practice that. And please leave a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube and let me know if you tried this and if it made you feel better, and make it a regular practice. It's fun. It's also fun. It shouldn't feel like, oh, it's work. It's actually pretty fun when you do it. So this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. One more quick thing. If you like this video on YouTube, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcast, there also subscribe, and you can also leave me a 5-star rating and a review, which would be very, very much appreciated. So thank you so much, and I see you again in the next episode. Take care.